Premier Racing Setups is the longest running setup shop on iRacing. Our monthly subscription options start as low as $20 a month. We offer setups for dirt oval, asphalt oval, and road racing, covering a wide range of cars and skill levels. Built and tested by top-tier sim racers, this isn't just a business, it's a community of competitive drivers. If you want to better your iRacing experience, head over to PremierRacingSetups.com today. And remember, if you don't get one, you're going to chase one.
Good afternoon, race fans, and welcome to the show. Tonight we have a good one here. It is race number 3 for the 802 Winston Cup Series here on Sunday nights. And I tell you what, breaking news. I don't see Josh Parker here tonight. Parker, of course, has been to victory lane in the first 2 races, so I think it might be a guarantee unless we see him join in at the last second during qualifying. We will get a brand new winner here in season number 7. I mean, there is a lot of drivers that visited victory lane last season looking to do it again. Or will we have a first-time winner? We've seen it here. We saw it at the start of the season with Josh Parker picking up his first and now second career win. But here tonight at Kansas, as we get ready to go fully under the lights, we may see a new driver in victory lane as we get ready to rock and roll. Of course, practice wrapping on up right now. Giovanni Espinoza with the quick time here in practice. We'll see if he can back it up here in qualifying as we get ready to head over to that. Of course, qualifying here tonight will take on a 5-minute time span, 2 time laps, and of course taking your best of those 2 time laps to set tonight's starting lineup, as I think there's about 35 drivers ready to do battle. We just barely didn't hit the cutoff limit here, and if we do get over 40 cars for a race this season, we of course will take the top 40 from qualifying. As here we go, we get cars rocking and rolling to the Speedway. One of the first cars here heading out to the Speedway will be the 6th car of Johnny Barker. Barker, of course, one of the veterans here in this series. 140 starts to the 6th car here in his career. Of course, with those, he has 10 wins, puts him second all-time in the win list as Johnny Barker goes on the clock here tonight at Kansas. As we see here, lap number 1 going to be run probably against the wall. Build up as much momentum as you can. And then, of course, it comes down to this second and final lap if you do decide to do that. As we see Barker here on the low side in 3 and 4. And we've seen more and more, especially here on iRacing, the top side in 1 and 2 start to be faster and faster, being used more often here in qualifying. As Barker here, lap number 1, good enough for a 30.09, but that only puts him P5 with about 8 cars taking the lap. Right now it is Rob Lowell with a 29.87 for the 21 machine. That is a quick time here, and that will be tough to beat. As here we go, Barker through 3 and 4 for the final time here in qualifying. He will bring it all the way down here on the apron, almost to the grass, trying to make this front travel as short as possible. Barker does pick up time, a 29.99. That will put him P number 7 here. And of course, lap number 2 of 2, that will be his final time. Rob Lowell does not pick up time. Lap number 2 at 30.02. As, man, we see a ton of drivers jumping up towards the top. Jim Ott able to jump to 3rd. Tim Rogers here tonight making a return here on Sunday nights. Haven't seen the 80 Skull Bandit machine in a while. He will jump up inside the top 5. Same with Todd Perot. He will jump up to 5th as well. So some drivers making time here in lap number 2 especially, as here we go. The driver with the best time here in practice, the 18 machine out here giving it his all here in qualifying. Lap number 1, definitely a throwaway lap, 33-second lap time for the 18 machine as he gets the wall there off of turn number 2. Giovanni gonna have to start deep in the field here tonight, as that 33 will be his only lap time, as he did get the wall there off of turn number 2. Man, a tough break there, and that's a risk you run with putting your eggs all into one basket, all into one lap, that if you do make a mistake, man, you are going to have to pay the price, and the 18 machine going to have to do just that. As we take a look now, another car out here on the Speedway, part of the DK Racing group. This is Grady Ehrman in the 42 machine. Grady here, lap number 1 here will start now, so we'll see what the 42 can do, as we see here from him up against the fence here, down in 1 and 2, not taking that middle line like we saw from Johnny Barker. As we'll see if he can see what kind of lap time this 42 machine can throw down. Connor Dudek able to go 22nd, Matthew Croak 23rd, Brandon Henn able to jump up inside the top 10. The 5 machine able to throw down a 29.96, as Ehrman here, lap number 1, looks like a 30.36, so we'll try and find some time here, lap number 2, but right now still it is Rob Lowell with that 29.87 on the pole position here, so we'll see if that will be the case here as we start to get close to the end of qualifying. About 40 seconds left for a driver to take a time, and looks like one car roll now here late, the 26 machine, as Grady here, lap number 2, able to improve a little bit at 30.23. That only bump him up to 26 here when it's all said and done, as here we go, the 26 machine lay here out on the track, but looks like we'll be early enough to at least get one lap, so we'll see what Michael Wolf can do here piloting the 26 here tonight. Wolf here through turns 1 and 2. Looks like just going to be good enough to maybe get a lap, as it's going to be very, very close on time, as I don't think, actually now looking at it closely, he's probably not going to be able to make it on around, as qualifying ends right there. 26 not able to get it, but the driver able to get it here in qualifying. Rob Lowell walks away with the quick time here tonight, so congrats to Rob here, and especially on a Riptide Radio Pole Award. I know this 21 going to be pumped up for that, and I think looking at the big picture here, let me double check. Yeah, Rob Lowell with the second most all-time pole positions. This will now be pole number 15 for the 21 machine. Congrats to Rob Lowell with the quick time here tonight. And let's get down trackside to go through the rest of tonight's starting lineup here tonight at Kansas. Alrighty folks, what do we say we head down trackside and go through tonight's starting lineup? Like we said before, the 21 machine of Rob Lowell will lead the field down to the green flag. To his outside, a driver I had some pleasures battling with on Thursday night. It is the 3 machine of Christopher Muse. Heading back to row number 2, some heavy hitters here. Starting in P number 3 will be the 4 of Jim Otten. To his outside, the Skull Bandit machine, number 80 of Tim Rogers. Rounding out the top 5, that would be the Todd ride. Todd Perro in the 69 machine will start in 5th. Then we have our buddy from across the pond, the 00 of Nate Brooker here tonight will roll off 6th. Starting in 7th, a great qualifying effort from the 5 machine. Brandon Hinton will roll off 7th, and to his outside, the driver of that 27 machine, it is Kip Easy. Grant Humphrey in the 48 machine will start 9th, and rounding out the top 10 is Connor Penn in that 37. Johnny Barker here tonight in the 6 will roll off in P number 11, and starting 12th, one of my favorite numbers out here in the field, it is the 71 of Jameson Heath, excuse me. Then we head back a little bit deeper in the field here tonight, starting in 13th. That is the 22 of Mike Kelly. Daniel Holcroft in the 31 will start 14th. 15th being the 8 car of Frank Flores. Chris Progar here in that 11 will start 16th. 17th going to Matthew Croak. Steve Ritter in the 61 will start 18th. 19th going to Anthony Calatoni, defending champion, will start deep in this one here, 19th. And Reba Caton Arabia Caton in the 30 machine will start 20th. Eli Raposa in the 46 will start 21st. Josh Hutchinson in the 20 machine will start 22nd. 23rd going to Connor Dudek. 24th is Tyler Humphrey. Here deeper in the field, it will look like rolling off 25th here tonight. That will be Devin McCaffrey in the 29 machine. Grady Ehrman will start 26th. Casey Gross starting 27th. James Hislop in 28th. Evan Fuqua in 29th. And Alan Harris will start 30th. 31st is Anthony Garland. Giovanni Espinoza in 32nd. Josh Parker, hey, did make the call here tonight. He will start 33rd. 34th is Michael Wolf. Mason Hall in 35th. And Gary Wright will start in 36th, as Noah Loveridge not making the call here tonight for the green flag. So 36 cars ready to do battle, as here we go, folks. Front row, Lowell and Muse, we get ready to send them on loose for 140 laps here tonight at Kansas. iRacing pace car here will make the hard left-hand turn down pit road, and the 21 machine will wait for the green flag as the field bunches on up. We get ready to turn them loose for some action-packed racing here at Kansas. We go green flag racing here and find out who is the Wizard of Kansas. Side by side throughout the whole field as they will dive down into turn number 1. Right now dead even for that lead, as Muse going to lose a little bit track going the longer distance, but we'll have the momentum here down the back straightaway. Battle for third here, done and over with. Jim Ott able to get in front of Tim Rogers. Muse still stuck up on that top lane here as everyone quickly tries to get single file on out. But here at Kansas, we will see multi-groove racing here throughout the night. Drivers trying to rip the fence as Muse big time into the fence there into turn number 1. Like I was just saying though, we'll see multi-groove racing, drivers from the fence to that bottom white line all night long, depending on how their car is feeling, where the traffic is in front of them, and that might be the most important factor, trying to keep clean air on the nose of these race cars, but getting back into the dirty air, get into the draft down the straightaways. That's going to be where the magic is at here tonight, as Rob Lowell out in front of Jim Ott, up to P number 2 here for the time being. Deeper in the field here, a lot of side-by-side racing still going on as drivers jockeying for position here. First side-by-side battle here right outside of the top 10 as Grant Humphrey and Johnny Barker here side by side. So Parker able to get on around. Now here comes that Pennzoil 22 machine of Mike Kelly. Kelly, of course, picking up the checkered flag on Thursday night. So Kelly having some momentum in his back pocket. He is looking for a good run here tonight. Currently, though, qualified outside of the top 10. Not very likely of the 22 machine. We'll have to see who and how he can get through this field if he can. Another driver, of course, starting deep in the field, has made it up only 2 positions here in the first 5 laps. That's still a good amount of headway, though, with these little laps. That is our defending champion, Anthony Calatoni, up to P number 17 here for the time being. Josh Parker here still in heavy traffic in this 36 machine. Has not made up any time, but if we know one thing about Josh Parker, he can come on strong late in a race, and I have a feeling that will have to be another kind of magic race from this 36 machine like we've seen in the first 2 weeks, as he will once again start deep in this one, still outside of the top 30 for the time being. Side-by-side battle here for the 9th position here, as Jamison Heath here putting the pressure on Brandon Hinton. Hinton down low in the 5, Heath up top in that 71 machine, though he will lose some momentum. Now here comes Johnny Barker to the inside of the 71 into turn number 1. So once again, these bigger tracks still all about momentum. The 71 kind of had to pedal that race car off of turn number 2, just not carry just as much momentum as the cars behind, and now open up big time as big time snaking going on down the back straightaway. I think one car hard in the wall off of turn number 2. Not sure who that was. I think that was maybe the 50 machine of Dudek, as we get in trouble here. The 31 of Dan Holcroft maybe having some connection issues, might be dropping out of this one. But yeah, I think that was a 50 machine big time in the wall off of turn number 2 last time. And we'll take a look at the right side of this race car. I'd have to expect to see some decent amount of damage, and we can see here definitely that right front fender pushed on in, same with that tire. So yeah, I believe he was the car that got it big time. And I tell you what, a big time moment there down the back straightaway. Somehow no one got involved in the caution. Wow. Heading up towards the front here, Connor Patton trying to work his way into the top 5. Patton, of course, qualified P number 10, but currently he has driven his way up to about 6th position. So he is one of the biggest movers here in the early part of this one, especially up towards the front. Though the biggest mover here tonight, we saw the error in qualifying. It cost him a lot of track position, but he has sliced and diced his way up, already up 18 positions for car number 18. Giovanni Espinoza quickly picking them up and putting them down, but it looks like he has been doing that on the top side of this racetrack, so not going to help the tire situation. We'll see how he can make it on up, but right now this 18 machine on rails up top and continuing to march his way up through this field. Oh, as we get trouble here through 1 and 2, cars all over the racetrack. Somehow they do not get into the back. I think that was a 42 machine, as he was slow going into 1 down there on the apron, had kind of no control of that race car, and that checked them all up big time. I think another car may be involved, the 30 machine of Caden as well, kind of off the pace. So we will have to try and see what happened to the 30 machine, as here we go, a live replay going into 1, and it looks like the 42 machine into the left rear of Caden, and then from there, oh, heads up field, we see the 42 kind of bounce it off the wall there and then start to come back on down. This is a recipe for disaster, as Kane does a great job hanging on the race car, keeping it off the racing surface. And that is the checkup we had to see there. Tyler Humphrey having to get out of it there in the 7, not to slam into the back of the 42. But man, already now 2 close calls here tonight to bring out a caution. Neither bringing out a caution, as first now 13 and a half laps clean and green here in this one. As we take a look here, Calatoni around Frank Flores for that 15th position. So an 18 machine update, he has driven his way up into the top 10 as he continues, man, to fly up through this field. This 18, we saw it in practice, seeing it once again here in the race. This 18 has incredible short run pace. The question is, how will it affect, though, the long run? As I think, we'll see about drivers maybe trying to stretch out this field to the halfway point and trying to make it a one-stop here in this one. And I tell you what, that'll be asking a lot from under the tires of this 18 machine here tonight. Oh, as we get trouble here, Josh Parker hard into the wall, and it looks like Parker won't go for a three-peat as more cars involved. The 55, the 26, and the 76 all involved here late, as the first caution of the night will be the big one, and it sounds like drivers not happy with each other here after that one. We will take a look here, see what happened going into turn number 1, as we see Josh Parker here catching the 92 of, who is that here tonight? Oh, James Hitzlop, and it looks like Parker into the left rear of Hitzlop, and then that will just send them both on around And just like we saw from the last one, this one not as lucky. They will then come up in front of the field. And I think the 92 might have been the first to maybe get hit. We'll see if he does in fact get hit. Yes, he does by the 55, and then that's where that secondary wreck comes in to Parker. But yeah, it was Josh Parker there. Big hit multiple times. As one more time, we'll look at it into turn number 1. Does Parker maybe misjudging how far the 92 was going to be off of the wall? Does a good job backing it up. Man, Chris Proger somehow able to get through there. And Devin McCaffrey also in the fence a little bit, but able to slide on through as, man, Arabia Caton just able to slide on through. Wow. I think one more time we got to ride on board here with the 11 machine of Chris Proger and just see how close that 11 got, because, man, he made a big-time evasive maneuver and just made it squeak on through. Let's go to the old in-car here from the 11, and then just watch at full speed as just how close he cuts it, as he can see 2 cars spinning into one. This is always the worst driver's feeling as, wow. Yeah, I know, folks, that doesn't get that much closer than that. Chris Proger probably going to need a new set of shorts after that one, but our first caution here of the night coming in right around lap number 15. Quite a few cars, of course, going to be with damage with that, as I think about 10 cars either hit another car in that or hit the outside wall, as quite a few cars down on pit road. We do see about 10 or so cars here on pit road, as it looks like the rest of the field going to stay on out, not come down to fuel nor tires. So I think it is too early for tires, but not coming down on fuel, that I think usually tells me that, hey, we are pretty good in the fuel situation to make it a one-stop race, as it looks like the 21 machine has led all 18 laps so far here tonight. Going to elect the inside here on the first restart of the night. Here, of course, on restarts, leaders does not have to wait till the green lights or the green flag. He can go anytime once he gets into the iRacing restart zone on the front straightaway. So the leader, of course, having more of an advantage here on restarts, because he can start to play a little bit of games, start to pick and choose when he wants to get on the throttle. As though the rest of the field here re-racked, restacked, and getting ready to get back to green flag racing. As, of course, here going to be here about 20 or so laps done in this first green flag run. We'll see what this second green flag run can do. As Rob Lowell, Jim Ott here side by side, getting ready to lead the field back to green flag, as the iRacing pace car here dives down pit road. And here we go. Rob Lowell in the 21 gonna have any choice. We'll go pretty much almost dead even in the box, maybe a little on the early side, but with that choice, you can see what kind of jump he can get. Already 3 car lengths out in front of this side-by-side battle for second, as Christopher Muse going to try and stay to the inside of Jim Ott, though Ott will have the run here down the back straightaway, though Muse will try and pull him back a little bit with the side draft. Those two going to stay side-by-side here through 3 and 4, as Nate Brooker here going to have a big run as well right behind him in that 00 machine. Wow, Todd Perot, big time loose there off of turn number 4, somehow hangs onto the race car, but I think that was Giovanni Espinoza packing a lot of air on the back of that 69 machine, as it looks like Todd going to go back up in front and get loose again. Wow, another moment there for the 69, and another good save by him. That could have been big. Still side-by-side battle here for second and throughout most of the field, as everyone trying to get back to that clean air, trying to take advantage of some side-by-side racing cars close to them on track, because we saw how quickly everyone can get spread on out. Now is the time to kind of put the moves on if you are in fact faster. And one of those drivers putting the moves on, the 22 of Mike Kelly, just outside of this top 5 and inside this top 5. 4 cars side by side here at Kansas. Right on board with Tim Rogers here, as right behind Rogers, he saw Mike Kelly in that yellow machine take a peek to the inside there, going into turn number 1. Kelly starting to get a little bit impatient here, getting held up by this side-by-side racing. Gonna have, once again, big run here down the front straightaway, as we'll see if he'll take it here on Nate Brooker. Looks like Brooker, though, able to get right behind Tim Rogers, get back in the draft. Won't be under fire from Kelly, at least down the front straightaway. Turns 1 and 2, though, might be a different story. Kelly will keep his foot in it. Mike Kelly to the outside, and Nate Brooker with a power move there and get clear. Wow. With a big of a run as that 22 got, he was able to get to the inside there of Tim Rogers as we get a caution on the Speedway. Not sure where it is at or who's involved, but Chris Proger looks like he will have some damage in this 11 machine, so we will see if he was probably involved here with this one as we take a look at Chris here going down the back straightaway, just in line with the 48 machine, and maybe 3 wide racing gone wrong, or no, the 20 just moves up the racetrack. That is Josh Hutchinson, tags the left rear of the 11. Matthew Croak in the 87, just an innocent bystander in that one. Same with the 14, he will make heavy contact with the wall, as Proger, going to be the cause of the caution, as he will try and just lock it up, keep it up against the fence there. But it looks like, about 3 or so cars with damage, but that one definitely starting with contact from the 22, the door of the 11, as here we go. We get some takers and some fakers down to pit road, but Rob Lowe, Christopher Muse going to be the first to commit to take some new tires here tonight. With that, it looks like Jim Odd, Tim Rogers, Mike Kelly, Connor Patton, Nate Brooker, Kip Easley, Giovanni Espinoza, Anthony Calatoni, Todd Perot, and Jamison Heath all going to stay on out. So it looks like more cars electing to stay on out than to come on in on pit road. So definitely a big time split call here tonight, and our leader going to be in traffic for the first time here tonight, as Jim Ott will take over the race lead here on lap 25 with a strategy call here in this one. As it looks like here, we get the 11 machine cleared and let go from the infield care center. So we will have to see if we can get a word here with the driver of the 11 machine, Chris Proger, out of this one early here, involved in this incident. Chris, do you got a copy? It's Brett the Jet in the booth here.
Hey, Brett, what's going on?
Oh, man, not too much. Calling an intense race, and, man, you were in some intense battles and sadly involved in the second caution. I mean, what'd you see from there? I assume not much until a car into that left rear of yours, right?
Yeah. I mean, I trying to be nice here, but I think there were 2 brain cells in both of those cars, and they were both fighting for third place, and I just got collected in the mishap. So.
Yeah, I tell you what, I know you probably have a lot more to say on that one, but we appreciate you biting your tongue. But yeah, a tough break there. I assume that car going to be mostly done and over with. How bad's the damage?
Nothing required, but it's got 15 minutes optional. So yeah, that's the car's just not going to run straight the rest of the night. So I just figured it's better off to just park it.
Yeah, sadly with that, of course, you getting turned down the track, getting hit by then the 87 and the 14. So I mean, I think all 4 of your corners, even though you never spun, got some sort of damage. That's a tough break for sure with that one.
Yeah, just hoping next week, next race, maybe just a little bit more patience from guys. I think that's not a lot to ask. I think lap 20 is way too soon to be running 3 wide.
Yeah, I would agree. We've seen some, hard racing even earlier on, too, kind of other incidents that didn't bring out caution with drivers just racing super close. And like you said, I think it's just a little bit too early to be racing like that as we head back to green flag racing here. Jim Ott out in front. And I tell you what, Rob Lowe taking some tires. Do you agree with that call? How'd your tires look, even though, you had a big slide?
So with that Phantom 4X I got, that first caution, I came down after, what was it, 15 laps or so. Right sides were down about 87 to 84, so tire wear is huge tonight.
Okay.
So, yeah, if he can make them last, it's going to be a lot asking. You could probably do 60 easy, maybe 62, 63. Clutch it. Maybe you can, do some God tier fuel saving. Maybe do it on one more stop, save a set. But if you're looking to break it up into 2 more stops, yeah, this is the way to go.
Yeah, I tell you what, I appreciate the insight there, Chris. And yeah, for you, I tell you what, you mentioned that kind of Phantom 4X, but I don't think you could have fit a paper between you and that 92. That was incredible. We had to ride on board with you. Man, I mean, how'd you make it through that one? And I tell you what, I said on the broadcast, I think we might need to buy you some new shorts after that one.
Oh, yeah. No, it was, like I said, I used up all my luck in that one corner, I think, is what it was. So. Yeah, one car came up, I dodged him, and then the other car came up, and I'm like, well, I'm hitting him. and I didn't, kind of, I guess. I don't know. It triggered an incident, but yeah, I mean, there was no damage to the car, so.
Yeah, I was going to say, from the broadcast booth, that car looked all clean and green, so that was good to see. Yeah, sorry. Bummer to see that it was taken out then during the next caution. But here next week, you said, hoping for a little bit better. We head to Texas. How do you feel about that place? And I think it's finally to the new Texas here with the 802 iRacing League.
It's legacy. It's old Texas, so I'm feeling pretty freaking good, my man.
Yeah, I tell
old
you
Texas,
what.
Fun Texas.
Yeah, and Legacy Texas always puts on a good race, and it seems like, especially because we have the option in the sim, everyone seems to love to go back to the old version compared to the new one, right?
The banking is just so much better. The track is just, it races so much better. But I mean, there's certain things, like Atlanta with these cars, Legacy Atlanta, they bottom out a lot more. They're a lot harder to drive, makes it a lot more fun. But at the same time, new Atlanta with these cars is just as exciting. You just got to make sure it's not a fuel mileage race.
Yeah, it's going to be a blast to watch. Of course, that coming next Sunday night. And yeah, Chris, once again, we appreciate you coming up in the booth, chatting with us. Glad to hear you're okay. And yeah, hopefully next week you have a little bit more lady luck and don't get taken out in the second caution, right?
Right. All right. Well, I appreciate everything you do, Brett. Thank you.
Yeah, and real quick, before we let you go, anyone you want to give a quick shout out to on the broadcast here?
Rob, you, Motion, for giving me a paycheck every 2 weeks. It's great. Check clears. I love them. And my dear sweet wife that allows me to race 3 nights a week.
Alrighty, awesome stuff. Once again, Chris, we appreciate you jumping in. And yeah, like I said, hopefully some better luck for you next week there at Texas.
Have a good night.
Alrighty, awesome stuff. That was the driver of the 11 machine, Chris Broder, as we see battling going on throughout this field here as we get comers and goers, driver on old tires, some drivers on new tires, as the new tires continue to work their way to the front. The first driver on new tires, that is the driver currently in a Johnny Barker in the 6 machine, last pitted on lap 24 with his teammates. Barker has sliced and diced his way up here to the back bumper of the 27 and currently out on track. The 6 machine, the fastest car out on the speedway, though we will have to slow down the pace as we get our third caution of the evening. Not sure where it is, and here it is, rolling back up to speed. Don't see too much damage on the 84 machine of Anthony Calatoni, but this will draw our third caution here, and it looks like once again going to be 3 wide racing here on the front straightaway, as it looks like Calatoni just into the side of Raposa. That gets him loose And then the 18 machine of Espinoza into the left rear just had zero time to react. Luckily for Calatoni, able to get that car woed up, not have it come across the track into turn number 1 like we see multiple times here tonight. So the 84 luckily has still all his sets of tires here, so no harm, no foul, just going to lose a little bit of track position, but the 84 probably going to head to pit road here this time. Going to slap 4 new tires on it and see what he can do to get back up through the field here. So I have a feeling the drivers that did not pit last time going to come down pit road here this time, seeing that those tires, worth about a half a second or so on speed. As here we go, decision time going to be here off of turn number 4. And it will be Jim Ott leading the decision here into pit road. And wow, here we go, Jim Ott electing to stay on out. A lot of the other cars going to come on in, being led by Mike Kelly, Connor Patton, Nate Brooker, Jamison Heath, Kip Easy, Todd Pereiro, Alan Harris, Frank Flores, all some of the drivers gonna come down to pit road. And it looks like the only cars yet to come to pit road here tonight so far is the 4 machine of Jim Ott, the 80 of Tim Rogers, and the 18 of Giovanni Espinoza. Those 3 cars, the only cars yet to come to pit road. Everyone else going to come down and take some sort of tires here in these last 10 laps or so. As of course, Barker, Ritter, Muse, Humphrey, all coming down to take some sort of tires. But here we go, some more drivers down and away. Mike Kelly going to be the first on and off of pit road. As actually maybe a little bit of strategy call, the 71, maybe just some fuel in that race car. As definitely a shorter pit stop than a 4-tire stop. So some strategy here by the 71, going to actually be the first car off of pit road. We'll see how that works on out here as we take a quick commercial break. Back on the other side, we get ready for our 3rd restart of the night with just about 100 laps left in this one here at Kansas.
Premier Racing Setups is the longest running setup shop on iRacing. Our monthly subscription options start as low as $20 a month. We offer setups for dirt oval, asphalt oval, and road racing, covering a wide range of cars and skill levels. Built and tested by top-tier sim racers, this isn't just a business, it's a community of competitive drivers. If you want to better your iRacing experience, head over to PremierRacingSetups.com today. And remember, if you don't get one, you're going to chase one.
Alrighty, folks, we are back here at Kansas, ready to do battle here and get ready for our 3rd restart of the night. It's going to be Jim Ott electing this inside lane here on the restart. Tim Rogers to his outside. That'll be the front row leading us back to green, but all cars behind them on fresher tires. We'll see what they can do as Jim Ott into the restart zone. He will fire on off nicely, and we go back to green flag racing here at Kansas. Front 2 going to be single filed out by the time they get into turn number 1. Then side-by-side battle for 3rd between 2 teammates, as Johnny Barker going to be the driver to first get into the throttle. Barker up into 3rd as one car in the wall a little bit off of turn number 2, and we go 3 wide racing into turn number 3. That is Casey Gross in the 35 machine getting stuck in the middle just a little bit. Now Gross into the left rear of the 71. Jamison Heath will go on around in front of the field. And oh man, Mason Hall with big contact, as Hall will probably be done for the night, as I don't think, was there anyone else involved in that one? I think that was it, but that one happened there. Contact between the 71 and the 35. As we saw that live, we will go back and rewatch that one as contact down the front straightaway into the tri-oval here. And let's take a look here. Once again, close racing gone wrong here tonight at Kansas, as yeah, maybe the 35 thought the 71 was going to be up higher, try and side draft him, just got him in the left rear. That would put Heath sideways across and in front of the field, and that's always one of, if not the worst places to be. Alan Harris in the 99 machine somehow able to cut that car left, missing. Then there's Mason Hall hard into the left rear of that 71 machine. Those two make heavy contact as everyone else big time evasive maneuvers. Oh, the 50 machine of Connor Dudek gets loose there, locks it on up, does not get the wall. A great save there by the 50 not to get any damage, but two cars definitely going to be out of that one here in this fourth caution with a big hit between the 14 and that 71. So probably not enough laps to have Ott and Rogers come down to pit road. And the more laps that they can stretch out this first set, the longer they will have two more sets over the wall. I think everyone that has taken one set going to leave themselves probably just one more set, because I'm pretty sure it's two sets over the wall here tonight. So that puts them in a very, very tight spot when it comes to tires, especially here tonight at Kansas, because I tell you what, grip and speed going to be with new tires, especially as the sun goes down. So, man, I tell you what, we are pumped on up to see how this strategy works on out. But right now, it is still out in front. Like the 76 machine of Evan Fuqua able to get back onto the lead lap. So that'll put us once again to about 24 cars here on the lead lap of this one. Looks like just over 5 or so cars out of tonight's race. Kip Easley, James Hislop, Tyler Humphrey. I think Humphrey's still out here on the racetrack. Yes, he is. Same as Hislop. So it's Easley out, Chris Progar, Michael Wolf, Josh Parker, Gary Wright, and Dan Holcroft. Holcroft having that technical issue here tonight in this one. And I remember he kind of dropped to the bottom of the standings. He said his kid tripped a breaker and it shut everything off on him. Oh, that is a tough break for that 31 machine. But here we go. Lights go out around the Kansas Motor Speedway. So we will double on up the field once again and get ready to send them on off, as we have had a flurry of cautions here in a row. Now under our fourth caution here in about lap 43, going to be back to lap 44 once we get back to green flag racing. And I tell you what, right now, if I can hold off these drivers behind them for more than 5 laps, I think that would go to show how important that clean air is here tonight. I mean, we saw race leader Rob Lowell lead all 24 of the starting laps. He took tires, got marred back in traffic, had to really battle this race car, battle the cars around him. Now back still in 19th. Also, we appreciate everyone in here tuning in live, as live NASCAR here at Nashville still under a rain delay. Track dryers still out on the racetrack, so we are getting our fix of racing in. Hopefully we can get most of this race in before, you know, too much drama happens there in the Cup world. But here we go. We are back to green flag racing. Better start for Johnny Barker, as Barker will try and stay on the left rear quarter panel of Rogers here through 1 and 2. He will do that, have the shorter distance, but Rogers going to have to try and separate himself from the 6, build up that big momentum here down the back straightaway. But Barker with a great corner on those fresher tires, as we get a caution here on the speedway. Todd Perot around. He will somehow squeak on through, as it looks like everyone else mostly able to get it on going and be all right. So no big time contact that I saw there. So here we go. We will see what happened to the 69 as Nate Brooker down to his inside. Eli Raposa up top. And I have a feeling, once again, we've seen it here tonight many a times. We'll see it once again. Nate Brooker into the left rear of that 69 machine. You see all the roof flaps deployed. Keep that 69 there, down there on the racing surface. And he will bring it up to a slide right in front of a few cars. Luckily, most everyone able to do a great job at avoiding the 69 and I think the 00, but I think the 92 may have got a little bit of damage there in that one. As let's take a look one more time here, see what happened to Nate Brooker. You can see the aftermath gonna have a little bit of right front damage, as here's what happened to Brooker after the spin, trying to get that car back rolling, missed the 69. That'll put him up the track, and there's that little bit extra contact and the damage to the nose of the 92. So once again, another caution here in the first half of this one, now up to 5 cautions. And with this caution coming on out when it did Johnny Barker up to P number 2. So he'll be on fresher tires. Gonna give, of course, Jim Ott a tough time here in this one, as it looks like now the 50 machine of Connor Dudek gonna be the lucky dog. So with Connor getting the lucky dog here in this one, that will now bring us up to 25 cars on the lead lap, and I still think about 30 or so cars still in this race. So even with the amount of cautions, still a lot of drivers still out here, still turning laps. So Jim Ott, Tim Rogers still going to stay on out, not go down pit road. So they will now be the only cars yet to do that, as Giovanni did commit to pit road. Where is he at? It looks like he pitted this time by. So the 18 machine going to be on fresh tires about 5 or so, maybe actually just under 10 laps newer than where the most of the field came down on lap 36. So though a lot of those laps under caution, we'll see what the advantage can be for that 18 machine, but still Jim Ott out in front of, and if I can lead about two or so more laps, you actually take over from Rob Lowe the most laps led so far here tonight, because of course that 21 machine led the opening 24. From there it has been Jim Ott. So here we go, it will be Ott and Barker on the front row here in the 5th now restart of the night. So here we go, Jim Ott going to lead the field into the restart zone. iRacing pace car down and away on pit road. Ott will get a nice start. Same with Tim Rogers. Rogers may be clear here off of turn number 2. Doesn't even have to wait that long. Rogers clear. Now Grant Humphrey going to try and do the same on Johnny Barker. So Barker definitely didn't get the jump that he needed on that outside lane, as Humphrey can't quite clear the 6. Here comes Barker with the run on the outside. Humphrey tried to close the door just a little bit too late. Now Humphrey going to get tight there in 3 and 4. That'll move him up the racetrack. Connor Penn in that 37 was thinking of splitting the middle there, though the 48 covered that off with getting tight. Now here comes the 22 of Mike Kelly. Kelly, of course, on fresher tires than these cars on tires in front of him. Though Jim Ott now with the most laps led here tonight in the 4 machine. Kelly and Patton both pitted on lap 36, so both the 22 and the 37 having the same tires. Same with Anthony Calatoni. We saw the 84 car go for a spin a little bit earlier. Calatoni has already rebounded into the top 10. And how about this? Same with the driver that started about 20th on this last restart, Rob Lowell. He is back into the top 10. That 21 still showing he has speed even in traffic in this one. Connor Patton able to get around Johnny Barker. Now Patton going around Grant Humphrey, or trying to do that, as Humphrey will try and side draft him through this front straightaway. Here comes Mike Kelly as well in that yellow 22. Patton and Kelly going to have the advantage with the bottom side and those fresher tires. Grant Humphrey, in the wall a little bit there off of turn number 2. That'll slow the momentum in that 48 machine as he was building up a big run down the back straightaway. Now Patton going to try and work over Tim Rogers for that second position, but not if Mike Kelly has a word to say, as, I think that was our race leader, Jim Ott. That was the driver that got the wall a little bit down the front straightaway. Tim Rogers going to choose to go way up top. He will have some momentum, though. Mike Kelly going to take advantage of that line there through 1 and 2. Kelly up to P number 2. Here comes Johnny Barker. He's in the mix. And don't count Calatoni out. He is now right in the thick of it as well. 3 wide down the front straightaway. They will send it 3 wide here through turns 1 and 2. Tim Rogers trying to stay on the quarter panel of Grant Humphrey. Humphrey will clear. Here comes Calatoni now, going to try and keep the momentum down low. He will get a push from Connor Patton. Now Rob Lowell will join in the mix. So you can see just how much time these drivers are kind of losing to the cars behind, especially if they get single filed out in front, with battling side by side here in this one. As here we go, Mike Kelly, most recent winner here in the series, picked up the checkered flag on Thursday night. Kelly will take a peek to the inside. Rob Lowell, big time moment off of turn number 2. Somehow hangs on to that 21 machine. He will rejoin. He will lose a little bit of track position, but man, what a save by Rob Lowell, as that car was big time sideways off of turn number 2, sideways once again off of turn number 4, 3 wide behind him, as they all try and keep it off of the 21 and each other. Wow. I tell you what, still intense racing, even though we've seen that intense racing gone wrong quite a few times here tonight. Drivers still absolutely sending it out here in Kansas. And folks, we're still in the first half of this race, about 15 laps or so to the cross flags, but still in the first half of this one, as Mike Kelly's still trying to work around Jim Ott, though here comes Kelly. He's able to get to the outside of Ott, and now Kelly should be able to sail it into turn number 3. No, Kelly will get cleared down the back straightaway. New race leader, the 22 of Mike Kelly, will take over the point now. Johnny Barker, Jim Ott now side by side for second, and that will slow them on up a little bit. Allow Calatoni, Connor Patton, Grant Humphrey all to start to catch this battle here. And remember, Jim Ott and Tim Rogers have yet to beat a pit road, so if this does go green, they could probably make it close to lap 70, but they will definitely be the first cars to come down to pit road under green flag conditions if we do get the run and the longevity to make it that far here in this one. A little bit deeper in the field here, we see the High Rock 99 machine of Alan Harris here working over Connor Muso. Contact there. I think Rob Lowell into the left rear flank Flores, and now Flores into the side of the 81 machine. They will make contact. They will make more contact as, Anthony Garland, and late in that one, Nate Brooker with a big contact. It looks like they won't be done either, as they will continue to make contact here in this one. But man, that one started maybe a little bit earlier than that, with maybe Flores and Rob Lowell contact, but then So here we go. We will watch from all of turns 1 and 2. So this is where Flores kind of loses speed. So both Flores and Lowell kind of arcing into turn number 1. The 21 trying to cut it low just catches the left rear quarter panel of the 8 machine. And that is then what kills the momentum of the 8. And we watch here. It is 3 wide racing gone wrong as Flores trying to get that car back underneath him, back up to speed. And then right here, this is where it's going to be the contact that brings out the caution as the 81 here. I think Flores just trying to catch that race car, just not realizing the 81 was going to be, right on his door. And then that, of course, what sends him sideways. And Flores just trying to get on through, then loses the race car. As we see many of times, it can come back around, shoot to the left. And I think Todd Perot just able to squeak on through. And I'm trying to find who is the driver of the 81. Oh, Anthony Garland. And then, as Garland sitting here, that is when then, Nate Brooker just already out of control into the back of Flores. And that will be the 3 kind of cars with significant damage from that one. And I think that was maybe the lucky break that, Jim Ott and Tim Rogers wanted, as both those cars will visit pit road for the first time here tonight. And it looks like kind of some split strategy drivers that pitted from lap 36 onwards. Most of them going to elect to stay on out, where a lot of the field electing to come down on pit road and take either their first or second set of tires here in this one. So here we go. We double it on up here once again, and it looks like Mike Kelly going to choose the inside of the front row. And look at this, Anthony Calatoni going to be the other driver here starting on the front row. This is going to be a good one here, defending champ and maybe one of the favorites for this championship. Going to be restarting side by side on the front row. Both drivers going to be fighting for this race lead here in this one. So currently looking at the standings, looks like still about 22 cars on the lead lap, but still about 25 or so still in the race as we get ready for the 6th restart of the night. And it's going to be inside of 10 to go to that halfway mark. Mike Kelly, Anthony Calatoni going to lead us back to the green flag. When does the 22 decide to go? He will go late in the box. In contact here, Alan Harris will go right on around. And it looks like Rob Lowell going to be the other car here in the infield grass. And right away, we get our 7th caution here in this one. So Alan Harris gonna be the big time kind of tough break out of this one, as we will take a look here. Try and get a close shot here, see what happened on the restart. And it looks like, tough to tell. We'll try and watch a little bit higher up. And it looks like Rob Lowell maybe up a little bit compared to the cars in front of him. And then Alan Harris, trying to follow the cars in front. And once again, just, I think, too close a racing, still in this stage of racing. And that's a contact there, 21 into the left rear of Alan Harris. Both cars going to restart inside of the top 10. And a tough break for both of them. Looks like Alan Harris going to be about 22nd. And Rob Lowell looks like he might get his spot back, though, in about the 10th position. So with this caution coming right on the backside of the last one, once again, we'll go to a quick commercial break. On the other side, we'll get ready for our 7th restart of the night here tonight at Kansas.
Premier Racing Setups is the longest running setup shop on iRacing. Our monthly subscription options start as low as $20 a month. We offer setups for dirt oval, asphalt oval, and road racing, covering a wide range of cars and skill levels. Built and tested by top-tier sim racers, this isn't just a business, it's a community of competitive drivers. If you want to better your iRacing experience, head over to PremierRacingSetups.com today. And remember, if you don't get one, you're going to chase one.
Alrighty, folks, we are back here at the Kansas Motor Speedway getting the 1-to-go signal, so we will re-rack them, restack them, and get ready to send them back to Green Flag Racing. Once again, Mike Kelly going to choose the inside lane here in this one, and it'll probably be about a 4-lap shootout until this halfway point here in this one. But the first half of this one here is 7 cautions, averaging, a caution or so every 10 laps. So last 2 have been kind of back-to-back. So we'll see if we get back to some green flag racing here in this one. Still up front, still the same front 2. Mike Kelly, Anthony Calatoni on the front row here. Also, interesting stat here, 2 drivers have finished inside of the top 5 both races so far this season. Both drivers not going to do that here tonight. Of course, Josh Parker involved in an earlier incident, and Scott Simley not here tonight. So that'll put it to, quite a few other cars here. Going to try and get that other percentage as, man, Mike Kelly, a great start there. He will lead the way into turn number 1. Connor Patton to the inside of Anthony Calatoni, though, for second. Patton, a great start from that 3rd position. We'll see what Connor can do here down the back straightaway as they will go side by side for that 2nd position. Behind them, Giovanni Espinoza and Christopher Muse going to go side by side as well. Patton will drive it in there deep, try and get on the throttle. He will get clear there off of turn number 4. Connor Patton now up to P number 2. Rob Lowe now taking peek to the inside of Muse here through turns 1 and 2. Though Chris will have the momentum, he will be able to defend P number 5 for the time being. But here comes the 5 and the 6 right behind as well. Brandon Hidden, Johnny Barker, both having themselves a pretty good start to this race. And right now, both of them battling inside of this top 10. Same with this DK Racing crew. Matthew Croak, they're up into 9th, and Grady Ehrman, they're into 11th here currently. Drivers on those fresher tires, though, Jim Ott, Grant Humphrey, those drivers 13th and 14th, so they will be looking to make their way quickly up towards the front. Now Giovanni here starting to put a lot of pressure on Anthony Calatoni for that 3rd position. Espinoza able to get a run, but now had to lift there quite a bit. Now here comes Christopher Muse for the 4th position. So just as quickly as that, 18 goes from challenging Calatoni for 3rd to trying to defend and hang on to P number 4. Rob Lowell hot on the heels of both drivers right in front of him. He is trying to guess the right lane, pick who will maybe come out in front. It looks like it will be Muse there off of turn number 2. As, oh man, Rob Lowell, another big moment. Lowell into the inside wall hard. He might be done for the night right at the halfway point, because here at the start-finish line, we see cross flags for the field. Mike Kelly will lead the way here as we go halfway down, halfway over here tonight. As we see here, Rob Lowell bringing it down to pit road. Not sure if he had contact or not from the 6, but here comes now that 6. He will get into the back of Giovanni Espinosa, so Johnny Barker might not be happy with how the 18 ran him. Now Espinosa, big time hit into the wall there off of turn number 4. We're going to keep an eye on this battle because, man, I tell you what, this could get sketchy here very quickly, as Barker going to try and get clear of the 18. Not going to be able to do so down the back straightaway. Those two will go side by side once again here into turn number 3. And Giovanni, man, he is back into throttle early again. Man, Barker will just shut the door on him. I'm sure he's not going to be happy either. '18 will once again put it up on the fence. He's going to get into the fence, though. That will open up the door for Brandon Hinton to get on by. So you can just see there, that is the risk of ripping the top, because, man, just a little bit of a mistake and you will pay the price. As Calatoni around Patton. Calatoni, big time wiggle once, twice, not a third time, but man, he had to save that car 2 big times, and that started with the 84 running that bottom side, putting those left side tires on the paint. Even though the paint is on the racetrack here, it can kind of pull around the race car there, and that's just about what happened to the 84. Alan Harris here trying to rebound here after that spin on the restart. Harris now up into 16th as he gets around the 50 machine of Connor Dudek. And I tell you what, it looks like we may have another chat on our hands. It looks like the driver of the 21 machine of Rob Lowell going to be out of the race car. So we will try and get a word in from him, see what he saw, see what he felt, as we see Jim Ott once again with those fresher tires continue to make his way up through this field, though Johnny Barker on the freshest tires furthest up in this field. Barker now trying to get around Christopher Muse for 4th, so the 6 car inside the top 5 as we got a battle for the race lead. Calatoni taking a peek to the inside of Mike Kelly here through 1 and 2. Calatoni going to try and draw that 22 on back a little bit with a side draft, able to sail it in there deep. If Calatoni can get on this throttle pedal, he will get clear here off of turn number 4. Not going to force the issue, going to be nice to Kelly for the time being, though through the travel, man, Calatoni almost clear. He will probably be clear here through 1 and 2 unless Kelly absolutely rips this top side. And it looks like Kelly going to do just that. As, oh, Connor Dudek involved. Oh, no, more cars involved as the 6 and the 3 going to make some contact with the outside wall. And it looks like those 3 will be the cars involved. All of them racing inside the top 5. And we get our 8th caution of the evening here on lap 78. And let's bring in Rob Lowell now to chat with us here and see what he is thinking after his incident. Rob, do you got a copy? It's Brett the Jet in the booth here.
Hey, Brett, how you doing?
Man, we're not doing too bad. I tell you what, action-packed race here, and I think it was for you as well, Rob. Tell us about your race and what happened to you there to bring you out of this one early.
Well, I screwed up. I thought more guys would come in. I was under a vast mistaken impression that we could have a clean race, and I pitted there once we got where we could one-stop it from that point on. And then I got back with the squirrels, and from then on, it was just chaos. We got a couple guys that they just don't know how to race. They can't race clean. They don't respect anyone. They bounce it off the wall. They run into people. I can tell you right now, this league's getting cleaned up this week. I'm not going to have a season of this. We expect a certain level of quality from our drivers, and it's been lacking tonight. So expect there to be some less drivers in this league come next week.
Yeah, I tell you what, we pride ourselves with, of course, the race quality and the drivers here on Sunday nights. And yeah, 8 cautions before lap 80. That's not like these series, right, Rob?
No, and when you give a guy a lane and a half, and he still manages to wreck you, there's been other guys that have been wrecked tonight. They're given plenty of room. We just saw an incident there, that last incident. The 3 gives the 37 a lane and a half, and somehow we still get a wreck. I mean, there's just no respect out there tonight. Guys are racing like this is a beginner's league, and I'm just not going to allow that to happen. This isn't who we are as a league. We race clean, and I could kick 10 cars out from this league, and I'll probably save 20 leaving on their own because guys don't want to pace for the whole race. So I'm not mad because I got wrecked. I was 3 shades of pissed off before I got wrecked about what was going on out there. I've been seeing it, and it's just uncalled for. Clearly, we've left some people in this league that we shouldn't have, and that will be remedied this week. I'd rather race with 25 clean guys that we can race caution-free, or 1 or 2 cautions, than race 40 guys that can't go 10 laps without a yellow.
Yeah, and I think, that would be appreciated from me and the viewers at home. We enjoy the racing that you guys put on here. And sadly here tonight, a lot of stuff's been cut short with these cautions, especially strategy. I mean, Rob, you mentioned it there before. And I mean, it's tough to keep track of here. And I'm sure it's really tough behind the wheel as well.
Yeah, like who would have thought that Jim and Tim could stay up front there going 50 laps on old tires. Other guys had tires that are 30 laps newer, but when you go back and look at it, I bet they don't have 20 green flag laps on their tires at that point. So, yeah, I mean, I feel like I know what 24 laps there for that first yellow, and I was just getting better as we ran there, and then I took myself out of this race. But yeah, it's frustrating because this isn't who we are as a league. I'm just seeing complete lack of respect out there from guys. Even lack of respect for our rules. I asked the guys, hey, we don't mic up, we don't point fingers to nothing, and second caution, we had guys out there pointing fingers and stuff. So, yeah, it's gonna be some tough conversations this week.
Yeah,
and I'm usually not this negative on the air about stuff, but I think everyone can see what's happening, and if as a league we don't get involved, we're going to just lose cars, and we're going to lose good drivers, and I don't want to lose good drivers. We have a ton of good drivers.
Yeah, and that's the case too. You got to look out for the league in general, and we appreciate you being this transparent, Rob, here on the broadcast, and letting everyone know that, hey, you know what, we see stuff, and we're going to call it, and we expect a certain level, right?
Absolutely. I mean, we went
yeah, I want to say almost 102 laps, right? Even on Thursday night at Nashville Super Speedway.
Yeah. I mean, we've raced some pretty difficult tracks, and there's been respect. And we went caution free at Dover last season in this league on Sunday night. We went caution free at Gateway in this league on Sunday night. We went caution free at Michigan in this league on Sunday nights. Thursday night, different group of drivers. We went 108 laps caution free. It can be done, but guys can't drive over their head. They have to drive in control. And when someone's got to run on you off the corner, the answer is to gas it up and bounce it off the wall to try to keep your position. Guys need to learn to save their stuff and live to fight another day. The sad part is the guys that know how to do that are getting taken out by guys that don't. And this week will be a lot of tough conversations in the admin chat around what we're going to do.
Yeah, I could believe so. And yeah, I think that is due in time too, Rob, because we also saw, we know Aero's a big part of this, but man, I saw a lot of, side drafts gone wrong. That turns cars. And like you said, involving a lot of fast cars, because with no fast repair, it takes one guy maybe not to respect that and take out, 10 cars like we saw in the first caution.
Well, and that's what it is. We got guys in here that I don't think they've ever run a non-fast repair league, and honestly, they're probably not even racing for points. And this isn't what's what I'm looking for. This isn't a casual league. This is a intermediate to advanced league. Even though we have a 3,500 IR cap, but we expect guys to be able to control their cars, and there's just a complete lack of car control out there. And the bigger problem is a complete lack of respect for their fellow competitors.
Yeah, and that's where, I really try and pride myself, especially behind the wheels. Get the respect of other drivers, especially jumping in, to a newer league. Man, I would rather not make enemies, rather make friends. And, we see less and less of it, even on iRacing. And it's a tough thing to see, and, it puts even everyone in a tough spot, let's say.
Yeah, and Frank and I got together. No, Alan and I got together on that restart there, and I don't know that my teammate said I was offset a little bit. He said I was offset from the guy ahead of me a little bit. He said Alan might have come down a little bit. I haven't seen the replay. That's a classic racing incident. If that's the way it went, I haven't seen it. I don't know. I'll look at it, and if I'm in the wrong, I'll apologize to Alan privately, one-on-one. Early in the race, I got into Frank into the corner, and I think that led to a caution off the corner. That didn't involve me, but I was in there, and he turned down, and I don't think he knew I was there. I couldn't get walled up enough. I got in his left rear, shot him up the track, and then he got collected off at turn 2, I think. That stuff's racing. But when you got guys that are bouncing off the wall into other people, I just saw a block here after we went back green that the guy had to slam his brakes on because the closeness was so much. I mean, why are we blocking for 13th, 14th position with 60 laps to go? It's just mind-blowing.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was kind of questioning, even up in the booth as well. Is this hard racing this early? I mean, I don't understand, last 20 laps, hey, one car's running down and you want to try and hold off that one spot, go for it then. And, I mean, you're probably not making that other driver happy overall. But, yeah, to see, hard a racing as we've seen and, aggressive moves, especially this early, it's like, man, I don't think this is the time. And hopefully people, can come to terms with that.
Yeah, and as we were starting to talk here, I was questioning if I had a reason to be as wound up as I was and upset, and I'm hearing the frustration in your voice, and you're pretty unbiased. So the fact that as a broadcaster you sound like you're frustrated about what's going on out there just tells me that we need to have some hard looks this week at some drivers and make some decisions for the better health of the league.
Yep, for sure, man. And yeah, if you want to use, the broadcast especially, it's never fun trying to commentate under caution. Because, I mean, look at the racing now. We got almost 3-wide race, and your teammates Steve Ritter, Grant Humphrey, Tim Rogers. I mean, this is where the show's at under green flag, especially Kansas. We see drivers really using nicely some different lanes and whatnot. And I tell you what, right now, especially just outside this top 5, I mean, racing of the night going on, and still with 50 laps to go, and everyone's, I'm sure, having a blast still out there on track.
Yeah, and right now the key is chasing the light gray. Don't be racing in the black. So with the latest mid-season tire model tweak, that dark black will change, and they put it they put it out there that you want to chase the light gray color of the track. So early on the bottom was really good, and then the guys were on the bottom, guys were on the top. And if you go back, look like lap 20, I started running the middle more because the middle was staying gray, and I switched to the middle and started driving back away from Jim when he was in second there. And yeah, it's really when we have green flag racing, it's really good because the track changes and guys can show their skills. But sadly, so far we haven't had that.
Yeah, hopefully this one goes green to the end, because I tell you what, a lot of different strategy here in this one. And on a positive note here tonight, Rob, you walked away with that Riptide Radio Pole Award, 15th career pole for you. How about that? That was a great lap you threw down.
Yeah, it's actually Rock City Pirates Pole Award now. We have a new sponsor. Yeah. Yeah, I actually did go back and watch my in-car stream on YouTube. I said, well, that was a horrible first lap, and the first lap's been the money lap here. And I got up at the bathroom and I came back and I said to the guys, wow, I'm still sitting on the pole. I didn't see that coming. So yeah, I'm happy with it. Just unfortunately, just like Atlanta, I'm not going to get a decent result out of this. So we'll recoup in what is it, Pocono next week, I think.
I believe it's Texas, and I wanted to verify with you.
Oh, Texas.
Is it New Texas or Old Texas?
It's New Texas. The way New Texas ran in INS, and during the official week, we made the decision to try New Texas for a change. So it is New Texas.
Awesome. That's great to hear, and I think that will be the first time the 802 iRacing League has been to New Texas, right?
No, I think we ran it 2 seasons ago.
Okay.
I want to say, yeah, we did, because that's the infamous. I thought Jim Ott got into me, and I actually got into him, and then we were probably 2 of the fastest cars on the track, and I raced him for 10, 15 laps side by side, and wore up both of my tires, and I had to give him a very heartfelt apology after that, because I thought he roughed me up, and I was like, "You're not going by. I'm gonna make you burn your shit up." And well, we burned both our stuff up. And then I looked at it. I was the guy that slid up and got into him. So yeah, we raced once there. I can't remember who won it. Probably Bogo. That was the season I think he won everything. So yeah, we got Josh Parker out early tonight. Jeff's not here. Could be a good night for Mike and Jim and Anthony. So
yeah, going to be a new winner here in season number 7 with Josh Parker.
Actually, this is Anthony's first week. So
yeah.
So it's Jim and Mike that are coming out, the big winners here, and probably the Humphreys, right? So
yeah, it's going to make it really interesting here tonight. Who do you got winning here with about 40 laps left in this one, Rob?
Oh, let's see. Well, I'm looking at lap times right now, and last 5 laps, Mike Kelly's average is a 30.72, and Anthony Calatoni's a 30.71. Everyone else is 8s and 9s, so it's going to be the 22 or the 84, and it's probably going to be that 22 car.
Yeah, that's always a safe bet to kind of pick for a race winner. As I tell you what, Mike Kelly, last one to visit Victory Lane here with the 802, picking up the win Thursday night as well.
Yeah, and unfortunately, Brandon wasn't here tonight racing. He had a little four-wheel accident Wednesday night. He's not feeling the greatest, a little sore. And shout out to him. Hope he gets better. And sorry, Brandon, I know you picked me tonight for your pick for the fantasy league. And well, I didn't deliver for you. So.
Oh man, yeah.
Good news is, I guess my bright eye for me is I'll get points in the fantasy league over Brandon on the podcast fantasy picks. So.
Hey, there you go. Yep, that is true, and yeah, that's tough to hear about Brandon. Hopefully, he's feeling a little bit better here today and recovers there, speedy, and recovers well.
Yeah. So, shout out to everyone for watching. Thank you. Sorry, this product tonight has not been up to our standards. That's nothing I didn't say in the sim. I don't know if you heard me or not, but I said a couple cautions before I got taken out that this was not a good night product-wise for us, and I'm gonna be transparent with the viewers and the family members watching. This isn't what we want. This isn't who we are as a league. There's plenty of leagues out there. The guys that go race this way in. We're not gonna be one of them leagues, and I'll run it for 25 guys before I run it 40 that we're laying eggs like this.
Yeah, but I tell you what, we still have a little bit of redemption here, this final 50-lap run, and it will be really interesting to see how it all shakes out, because this could still end up in a great finish and a kind of way to redeem the race, right, Rob?
Yeah, and I'm watching here. Mike and Anthony's lap times are starting to get closer to Jim and Matt Croakey's, so more Jim than anyone. So Jim maybe will come up here and steal one back. He's only 2 seconds back, 1.9, and his last lap was an 04 to Kelly's 99. So Calatoni was an 81 last lap, but he's getting a little bit of draft off Mike, where Jim's doing just raw speed. So we'll see what happens. It'll be fun to watch.
Yeah, that it will. And yeah, Rob, anyone else you want to give a quick shout out to or anything on the broadcast before we let you go?
Just all our sponsors, BG Graphix, Rock City Pirates, RC, Riptide Radio for the post-race show and stuff, GStone Motors, Stone Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, Admin Box, Brett, and all the guys over at Turn 3 Racing Network, and to all our racers that have stuck with us. We'll get this cleaned up, and we'll give everyone a better race experience come next week.
Alrighty, awesome stuff, Rob. Once again, appreciate you jumping in the booth, chatting with me, and I really appreciate you, man, being transparent with myself and all the viewers. I tell you what, I'm sure it goes a long way with them, and yeah, man, hopefully some better luck next week at Texas, right?
Yeah, thanks, Brett.
Alrighty, Rob, yeah, have yourself a great rest of the night, and well, I'm sure we'll be talking to you again here in the future.
Yeah, have a good night.
Alrighty, awesome stuff. That was the 21 machine of Rob Lowell. And I tell you what, folks, these last laps, man, battles all out here on the Speedway. Big time storylines to keep in mind, though. Mike Kelly, Anthony Calatoni have checked out to a 2.5 second lead, though Jim Ott, 20 lap older tires, Ott still in P number 3. It has the most set of tires than anyone else out there on the Speedway. Ott's looking in a good spot, especially if you get a late race caution. Matthew Croak trying to have himself a career night here tonight. He is in 4th. Grant Humphrey currently running in 5th. Running down that 87 machine. Humphrey might be in 4th here before we know it. Then outside of the top 5, Giovanni Espinoza there in 6th, Christopher Muse 7th, Steve Ritter in 8th, Connor Dudek 9th, and Grady Ehrman in 10th. Other big news, Tim Rogers on some older tires. He has kind of dropped all the way back to 17th. I think having some right side damage on the 80 machine as he was looking to have a lot of speed there early, and now the handling definitely falling off that Skull Bandit racing machine. Like I said, he's in the same boat with Jim Ott, some of the oldest tires out there on the Speedway bolted onto that 80 machine. So he would love a late race caution to use up a set of tires and maybe get some of that damage repaired. As yeah, here we go late into this one here tonight. As I tell you what, why we got the field spread on out, we haven't done it here tonight. What did we say? We let the cars do a little bit of talking with a little turn 3, turn it up here tonight at Kansas Motor Speedway. Alrighty, folks, there we go. That will bring an end to the turn 3, turn it up there as we get our 9th caution of the evening, and this one involving the Skull Bandit machine of Tim Rogers. So we'll see what happened to Rogers here off of turn number 2, and it looks like once again just close racing gone wrong as Rogers into the side of McCaffrey, and that will send the 80 machine out of control, kind of sliding just back onto the racing surface. Luckily, everyone behind the 80 machine heads up driving to not hit him. So a single car incident, no harm, no foul, but this will make it really interesting when it comes to strategy. As I tell you what, most of the drivers having only one set, if no sets of tires, though there are few cars really hoping for them. One being our 3rd place driver, Jim Ott. So Ott going to be definitely down to pit road here under this current caution flag. The question is, who else will join the 4 machine? If Mike Kelly, Anthony Calatoni have any other sets, I have a feeling now will probably have to be the time to use them. As here we go, decision time. We just ran, I want to say, close to, 30 for sure. Let's say close to 25 laps under green. And here we go. Mike Kelly going to lead the field down to pit road. Here comes the money stop, folks. This is where you can't afford to make a mistake. No mistakes here out of this pit stop. Who will be the first off of pit road? We'll watch here. Cars into their pit stalls here. Going to take 4 fresh Goodyear tires filled up with that virtual Sunoco race fuel. And we'll see who wins the race off of pit road. It looks like it will be Mike Kelly going to be the one to win the race off of pit road. Then Calatoni, Jim Ott just in third. Grant Humphrey and Chris Muse going to round out the top 5 off of pit road. Oh man, everyone going to be on an even playing field. It's going to be really interesting. See who has the speed, who has the car to get the job done late in this one. About a 35 or so lap shootout gonna be the distance to figure out who will be walking away with the checkered flag in Season 7 besides Josh Parker. Of course, this is race number 3 of, I want to say, a 15-week schedule. So every week gonna matter a lot. I believe 2 drop weeks this season. So it's gonna really come down to having really well finishes when we all tally things up at the end of the season. But like Rob Lowell mentioned, big winners from tonight here currently gonna be Mike Kelly, Jim Ott, Grant Humphrey, all going to make up a lot of points on Josh Parker, as well as Scott Simley. Simley not able to make it to the Speedway here tonight. Of course, those were the 2 drivers with both top 10 finishes so far this season. Excuse me, top 5 finishes, top 10 finishes here on the season. Not only is a few cars here, of course, Parker and Simley, but then we got to throw Muse into the hat. And how about this? The High Rock 99 machine of Alan Harris. Both races so far, the 99 has finished inside the top 10. Harris here on this restart will restart in 11th. As here we go. A 35 lap dash will be the distance here for our 9th restart of the night. Once again, as familiar front row like we've seen the last couple restarts, it's going to be Kelly and Calatoni here, leading them back to the green flag. Mike Kelly has been going late in the box. Will he do that again? No, he won't. Kelly away early in the box. And here we go, side by side for second, as Jim Ott going to try and stay to the inside of Calatoni. He's going to do just that. Ott going to have the shorter distance, so can Calatoni stay on the right rear quarter panel of the 4? Yes, he can. A few cars just getting a little bit of the piece of the wall there off of turn number 2, but a great battle here for second as Ott will roll that bottom side beautifully. Ott to the inside of Kelly. I don't think Kelly was expecting Ott to pull out that power move, and Jim Ott now takes over the point at the stripe. Wow, I think Kelly thought he could lazily arc that car. Oh, Mike Kelly gonna lose the race car, somehow save it. Wow, what a save by Mike Kelly, but he will go from P number 2 all the way down to about 15th or so. But the save of the night gonna be that Pennzoil 22 machine, as wow, what a wheelman behind that wheel here. And apparently I can't do quick math, as we are already into the countdown clock. Instead of 35 lap shootout, how about a 25 lap shootout, folks? As now we get 24 here to go. Steve Ritter, Grant Humphrey in an intense battle here for this 4th position. Ritter going to have the momentum down and away off of turn number 2. He will try and get clear. Grant Humphrey, though, going to sail it in there deep. Humphrey going to stay to the inside of the 61. I tell you what, Ritter hasn't had the luck this opening part of this season. He's trying to turn it around here tonight, right now doing just that, battling inside the top 5. Jim Ott now having an advantage there over Calatoni. Calatoni going to try and track him on down. Here comes Ritter now with the crossover. Humphrey going to get a piece of the wall. That would slow down the 48 machine. Now Ritter going to have the preferred lane, the shorter distance, and Steve Ritter going to get back that 4th position with a great move there off of turn number 2. We'll see if Grant Humphrey falls in line or goes to the top side. Looks like we'll fall in line for the time being. Probably the smart move because a lot of hungry drivers right behind Brandon Hinn. And how about this? Evan Fuquay getting the lucky dog 1 point here tonight. This 76 has rebounded nicely. He is currently battling for 7th with Grady Ehrman. Wow. What a great recovery here by the 76 machine of Evan. He is in a great spot here late in this one. And of course, Alan Harris here trying to battle to stay in the top 10. Going to be one of those few drivers to finish inside the top 10 every race so far this season. And right now, currently trying to keep this streak alive. Oh, as we see Giovanni Espinoza into the wall a little bit there through 1 and 2. That will kill the momentum a little bit in the 18 machine. Now here comes Grant Humphrey once again to the inside of Steve Ritter. This battle far from over, but we can see this battle slowing them on up. They have lost now the top 3, and more importantly, that pack behind them now within 1 car length of this battle. So 20 laps here left in this one. Jim Ott currently leading the way late in this one over Anthony Calatoni. Christopher Muse in 3rd. Then a great battle from 4th on back. And we see that right here as Grant Humphrey able to throttle down, able to just slide in front of Steve Ritter off of turn number 4. So give 4th back to Grant Humphrey. Though Ritter not done with it as he will sail it back to the bottom side of the 48. Man, a great battle late in this race for that 4th position, though. Humphrey not in the wall this time. Humphrey going to try and set sail here in this 4th position as everyone else behind the 61 of Ritter here trying to keep pace. We'll see what pace Ritter has now that he is not locked into a battle here. Now we head back a little bit deeper to that battle with Alan Harris, currently the best battle on the Speedway, as Espinoza able to get on around, now putting the charge on Matthew Croak. So Croak on the outside here, Espinoza down low, and his 18 machine, remember, fastest in practice, has one of the best short run speed. He showed that off at the start of the race. Going to try and do it once again late in this one as he'll try and get around this 87 machine. Harris right behind them as well. Same with the 50 machine of Connor Dudek. Oh, it's trouble here. The 87 of Matthew Croak hard in the wall there off of turn number 2. Not sure if he got loose because of contact, but that 84 definitely got loose there. Shot up against the wall, and he will fall outside of the top 10. Johnny Barker here trying to rebound after being involved in an incident earlier in this one. You can see the damage on the right front of the 6th machine, but right now Barker has battled to P number 11, so the first car outside of his top 10 late in this one as, oh man, some big time blocks going on right in front of him as Espinoza had to big time get out of the throttle. This could open up the door for the 50 of Dudek and maybe the 6 of Barker as well. I think that was Ehrman that maybe got a piece of the wall there off of turn number 2 there and kind of checked up both the 42 and especially that 18 machine out in front, though. Jim Ott continuing to stretch his race lead over Anthony Calatoni. So if there's one car that wants to see this race go green to this checkered flag, that is definitely this driver of the 4 machine of Ott, because he would have to hate to make a late race decision here of either giving up that track position, taking his final set of tires that he does have over the wall, or stay on out, keep that track position, but be on even playing field of the other cars around him. So Connor Dudek able to get around Grady Ehrman for that 8th position. So now the 42 being hunted down by the 18 once again, and now the 6 of Johnny Barker. And look at this, Mike Kelly he is not done fighting after his big slide there through 1 and 2. Mike Kelly going to try and finish up here in the top 10 when it's all said and done. Man, I tell you what, Alan Harris just slamming the door shut there on Johnny Barker. That was close quarters racing into turn number 1. Stuff you'd expect to see this late in the race, but I tell you what, Mike Kelly is a man on a mission. He is already back up into 12th and looking for more. Oh, his contact though, Mike Kelly gonna go on around on the front straightaway, so a tough night going even worse for Kelly as he will send that car multiple times spinning down the front straightaway. Great driving by him to not have him come on up into the field there, but oh man, that makes the tough call for our race leader, Jim Ott. Does he come down? Does he stay out? As let's take a look, see what happened here off of turn number 4. As it looks like Johnny Barker just getting tight there off the corner, trying to get that car to turn. Does not, drifts right up into the left rear of Mike Kelly, and that will send the 22 machine pirouetting down this front straightaway multiple times here tonight. And that will bring out, I believe, now our 10th caution here in this one to end out a shootout here to determine the winner. Whew, I tell you what, folks, this is going to be a wild one here tonight because it's already been a wild night to kick things on off, and now we ended for a sprint to the finish. Oh man, we'll see drivers like we saw all night long from this bottom side to the top side. And now if the gloves weren't already off, they're definitely coming off for these last, probably going to be 9 or so laps. So Jim Ott with the tough choice here at the pit sign. Going to make it easy there, stay way up on the racing surface. Ott elects not to give up the track position here in this one. Does anyone else have any sort of tires down on pit road? It looks like probably not. Matt Croak going to bring it down pit road. And a few other cars probably to get some damage repair, but everyone else going to elect to stay on out and see what they have here in this final stage of this one. Looks like Casey Gross in this 35 machine making his first ever start here in the league. Casey going to get the lucky dog, and I believe that will put us about 19 cars on the lead lap, so still over half of the field on the lead lap here tonight in this one. In a big time race of attrition, as it looks like Gross going to come down this time, maybe to get some damage repair, maybe put some tires on that race car, but like I said, he will make it now 19 cars on the lead lap, ready to do battle with a shootout to the finish. Top 10 looks like the following. It will be Jim Ott in P number 1, then Anthony Calatoni behind him, Christopher Muse, the 3 car in 3rd, Grant Humphrey in 4th, Steve Ritter rounding out the top 5. Brandon Hinton had himself a great qualifying effort. He is currently in 6th. Evan Fuqua in 7th. Connor Dudek in 8th. Giovanni Espinoza 9th. And currently our biggest mover of the race, and Grady Ehrman here rounds out the top 10. As the lights go on out, we get ready for an 8-lap shootout here tonight at Kansas. I'm going to make the smart choice here. The shortest distance through 1 and 2 going to be the bottom side. That is where the 4 car is going to like to start, so it's going to be an Ott Calatoni front row restart here for our 10th restart of the night. And I tell you what, folks, I think we're going to have to go back pretty far, I want to say, to see our last time we have had, you know, a double-digit, let's say, caution flag race. As the last time that happened here in the league, we, of course, got to go all the way back to season number 6. Last time we saw that was race 18, I want to say, of 26. That at North Wilkesboro Speedway was the last time We had double-digit cautions, of course, here in race number 3 of season number 7. We get back to it. As we get back to green flag racing here, iRacing pace car off. Jim Ott gonna go with a little bit of wheel spin, though. He will get the jump on Calatoni. Calatoni, though, on top of it in second. He will be clear for second as well. Two teammates side by side for third here through 1 and 2. That is Humphrey and Muse. Both of them going to go door number to door number down the back straightaway. In Calatoni going to try and block, going to try and keep this race lead and this clean air. Jim Ott knows he was able to drive away from the 84, but was that because the 84 was saving his stuff? We'll find out here as Ott tries to break the draft with now 7 to go at the stripe. Still side by side for that third position. Humphrey up top, Muse down low, right behind them, Ritter within striking distance, and a lot of other fast cars trying to rebound late in this one. One of them being Todd Perot. He is now back inside the top 10, so another driver overcoming adversity in this one, involved in a caution. He is now battling with the 76 for that 9th position here. And look at this, Mike Kelly from the spin, already almost back into the top 10. Now next time by, it will be 5 laps left here in this one. Up towards the front though, Muse and Humphrey have swapped lanes. Muse now up on the top side, Humphrey down low. And this, of course, a battle for a podium spot and a battle to talk to me with the Riptide Radio post-race show. As right now, it will go to Humphrey for the time being. Now open palm from the flagman. That time by, it is now 5 laps left here tonight in this one. Mike Kelly here to the inside of Todd Perot, now trying to get that right front quarter panel to the left rear of the 76. Couldn't quite do that, but able to get clear of that 69 machine. Here comes now Evan to the inside of Connor for that now 8th position. So these guys still battling up in front. Jim Ott still able to keep that gap to Anthony Calatoni, so no change up towards the front as the 76 able to clear the 50. Now here comes once again Mike Kelly. He will now get to the inside of the 76. It's going to be a drag race off turn number 2 as, man, 50 once again going to bounce it off the wall there off of turn number 2. Up towards the front, Muse within a car length of Humphrey, though not able to get side by side now with 3 laps left here tonight. Alan Harris has dropped back to 14, so he will have to try and pick up about 4 spots here in these final 3 laps to once again finish inside of that top 10, keep that streak alive. But right now it looks like he will have some work to do here in these final closing laps. Eli Raposa, another driver here, slicing and dicing his way up towards the front. Raposa trying to get into the top 10 here late in this one, trying to work over Todd Perot and maybe Connor Dudek. Dudek currently in the 10th position in that black and pink 50 machine. Popsicle sticks up in the air, that time by from the flagman. 2 laps to go here tonight at Kansas. And I tell you what, a great battle right here just outside of the top 10. These guys are giving it all they have left in these race cars, leaving nothing on the line here late in this one. Jim Ott will be the first car to see the white flag. White flag is out. 1 more lap to go. Calatoni about 3 car lengths back. Will need a miracle here on this final lap to have a shot, but here at Kansas, anything can happen though. Jim Ott, a great turns 1 and 2. Calatoni closes about a car length. It's not going to be enough. Calatoni will drive it in there deep, but off of turn number 4, Jim Ott will pick up his first career win here in season number 7, and this will now be career win number 4 for the 4 machine. The big 4 win for the 4. Ott will be a winner here in season number 7. He will get the job done. Calatoni will bring it home second. Grant Humphrey in third. Muse in fourth, and Ritter rounding out the top 5. Though those top 3 we will be chatting with here at the end of this one. And that great battle there deeper in the field, Todd Perot was able to squeak out a top 10 finish when it was all said and done. Wow, how about that, folks? the big winner here tonight will be the 4 machine of Jim Ott. As you see Mike Kelly give that 4 a little congratulations as he goes on by. But it will be Jim Ott, the big winner here at Kansas, was able to be the last car to head to pit road in that first stop. I was wondering about the strategy, but it worked out well, and it worked out to have Ott in victory lane, burning it on down here on the front straightaway, Kansas. Oh, that's a bummer to hear, Alan, that the right front was shot. I tell you what, man, we were pulling for you a lot. Hopefully some other fans pulling for you as well for that top 10 streak. Because I tell you what, I always love the cool stats. And it's been an impressive start for the season. But still 14th with the right front shot. That was not bad, and you're putting on a great show. So congrats to you. But big congrats as well to Jim Ott as he'll bring it to a stop here on the front straight. And I tell you what, don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be back after a quick commercial break with our Riptide Radio post-race show.
iRacing is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all around the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics, engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 170,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsports organizations like NASCAR to deliver virtual races based on the real-life NASCAR Cup Series, as well as many other series on the NASCAR ladder. iRacing also features team racing, providing a variety of options for members to create and manage their own teams. Race with friends or real-world teammates in full-length endurance events like the 24 Hours of Daytona, Spa 24, or the Bathurst 12 Hour. Additional partners include IMSA, World of Outlaws, Supercars, and IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own Indianapolis 500, Bathurst 1000, Chili Bowl, and many more iconic events. This is iRacing, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car. Sign up today at iRacing.com.
Alrighty, folks, we are back here with our post-race show. The first driver we will be talking to here tonight is our third place finisher, that being the 48 machine of Grant Humphrey. Grant, do you got a copy?
Yeah, I got a copy.
Alrighty, man. How we feeling after a crazy race here tonight at Kansas to bring it home third?
I'm feeling pretty good. Little toasty, but pretty good.
Yeah, I could believe so. Tonight was kind of on the longer side here, but man, it ends with a tough run to the finish. How was your car feeling? I tell you what, you and your teammate put on a great battle there.
Oh yeah, the car was handling great there towards the end. I didn't really like how it felt in practice, but it's what came around to me in the race, and I was really happy with it. And me and Chris had a fun battle, and happy to see Evan back there in 8th place.
Yeah, I tell you what, a good race for your team, that Muscle Poodles race team here tonight. And I tell you what, tough break for our points leader, Josh Parker, Scott Simley not here. Granted, I think you could come out with some big-time points and, really close up that gap towards the front with this good finish here tonight.
Yeah, I'm hoping to be pretty close. Hopefully top 5 in points, but we'll see after this one.
Yeah, I tell you what, a great night for you. And I tell you what, how'd you guys try and figure out strategy? Because, man, it seemed like a crapshoot, especially once we got all those cautions. It's like, man, when's the time to put on tires? When's the time to not? but it seemed like it's worked out pretty good in this 48, all things said and done.
Yeah, it was just a big gamble on everything. I don't think any of us decided to do the same pit strategy, so we were all doing something different.
Yeah, that it is, but still kind of the cream rise to the top. By the end of things, you're able to make up 3 positions from where you started. What do you think you needed maybe a little bit more there in qualifying? Because it always seems like this 48 machine, man, is lightning quick when it comes to qualifying.
Yeah, maybe a little bit more practice. I think that's what I'm lacking right now, so.
Yeah, I tell you what, nothing beats some seat time here in these race cars. Luckily, able to get a lot of it here tonight. And I tell you what, a lot of moves here, a lot of, running different lanes. I know it seems like that 48 machine, always one of the few cars to jump to the top side if it's available. What lane did you kind of prefer here tonight?
I actually preferred the bottom, but I was able to make a couple of passes on the top up there. Just saving tire and being able to fly right around on the outside.
Yeah, that it is. Both you and Chris able to swap lanes a little bit between you two there. And of course, you're able to get the job done on the top side. I mean, do you think that battle with your teammate there kind of held you guys up from getting to those top 2 at the end?
Maybe a little bit, but I mean, we gotta race each other still. So, I think that we would have been a little closer because I was starting to reel them in slowly but surely.
Yeah, it seemed like that 48 machine had a lot of speed, but yeah, you guys were racing for an important spot, right? Be up here in the Riptide Radio post-race show.
Yeah, for sure. That's what I always love getting top 3s, so I try to work my hardest to get them.
Yeah, we always love chatting with you, Grant, here, getting your insight and all that good stuff. Speaking about some insight, next week we head to Texas, not Legacy, Texas. I think the second time in the series we head to the newer config Texas. How do you feel about that place?
Like I'm gonna need a lot of practice, so we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, that place is very tricky with the lower banking 1 and 2, and then of course the bumps on the high side of 3 and 4. It's going to make for an interesting race. And yeah, Grant, I tell you what, we can't wait to see how it shakes out for you. And here tonight worked out pretty good, up in the top 3 before we let you go, man, and celebrate this win. I know there's a lot of people you got to thank, whether it's sponsors, teammates, or anyone else you like to give a shout out to here tonight.
Yeah, I want to start off with thanking you for broadcasting, and then Rob and the other admins for putting on the league. Also want to thank Isabel's Impact, Must Love Poodles, the Bar Distillery, Hell Niagara Enterprises, my coworkers, my family, my brother for helping me always get better, and then my amazing girlfriend Lindsay, and of course my teammates.
Yeah, I can't forget the teammates to help you out there, and you and your teammates put on a great battle here tonight. So, Grant, once again, congrats on the podium finish. You definitely took a good chunk of points there, made it a lot closer to the top. So, best of luck there with that championship battle. And you, my man, have yourself a great rest of the night, and I'm sure we'll be talking to you again here in the future.
Thank you. You have a good night, too.
All righty, awesome stuff. That was our 3rd place finisher, the driver of the 48, Grant Humphrey. And now we head to a familiar face. First time in season number 7. That's because it's his first time back. Our runner-up finisher here tonight, the 84 of Anthony Calatoni. Anthony, do you got a copy?
Yes, sir. Glad to be back.
Glad to have you back. I tell you what, we missed this 84 machine out on track, but man, you come back and you pick up right where you left off, didn't you?
Yeah. After 2 weeks of traveling to Dover and then Charlotte, we I texted Rob when I got back. Excuse me. I said I missed it. I was so happy to race on Thursday, and then Thursday was just I don't what happened, just bad driving, knocking the rust off, I guess you want to say. And then we come back here on Sunday and we get a P2.
Yeah, exactly. That Thursday night, I was amazed when I saw that 84 sideways out of my windshield. I said, "Whoa, you don't see that too often."
No, we were struggling a little bit. I don't remember what happened really, because it was just a preseason thing. So kind of happy it was a preseason thing to kind of get back into the groove. But seems like we knocked it all off and got back on, like you said.
Yeah, that you did here tonight, a runner-up finish. And I tell you what, Anthony, man, you were in contention, it seemed like, most of the night. Of course, a little bit of cycling through pit stops, but man, there at the end, you were putting a lot of pressure on Mike Kelly, as well as a lot of pressure there on Jim Ott. Tell us about your race, how this car was feeling, and what you maybe needed a little bit more of there at the end.
Clean air. That's what I needed. I needed clean air. Almost got it when almost passed Mike, but then I just couldn't get it done. He was getting good runs off the top, and then just stuck back there. Kind of is what it was, but before that last caution came out, right before 10 to go, I clipped the wall. It bent the right front a little bit, but it wasn't undrivable. It was just a slight wheel damage, but that I thought it was going to hold me back from trying to run Jim down, but it did pretty good. It just I couldn't. You can't get up on these guys' bumpers. But listen, that's the name of the racing now is air block and throwing the dirty air on the guy behind you. So it is what it is.
Yep, it's one of the tools in the toolboxes, as we know. And we saw it here tonight. A lot of, side drafts kind of gone wrong. That was kind of the majority of cautions. Luckily for you, not caught up in any really, let's say, overall. I think maybe, were you involved in anything here tonight?
I had one
yeah.
spin,
Yeah.
but that's because I was trying to make a move 3 wide on 2 slower cars, and I would have made it, but the back end started coming around out of nowhere, and the 18 decided to not lift. I mean, I would have went around anyway because that's how sideways it was, but still, I mean, he didn't even think twice to lift. He just ran right through me with that. But again, that's not his fault. It was my fault. And then other than him dooring me twice, coming around the front stretch, which I don't understand why. I get you want a side draft and you want to push the air on my door, but you don't need to push me. But that was the only incident. I did a little spin in P2.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, great rebound for you here tonight. Go from a spin to P number 2. Always a pretty good rebound when all things considered. Of course, Anthony, up on the schedule, we got Michigan Thursday night, and then we head to, the current, let's say, Texas next Sunday. How are you feeling about those races next week?
Michigan's going to be wild. This car on those big 2-mile racetracks are always. I'm sorry, I'm watching the Cup race too. SCG just almost did what they were doing all night with the side drafting. Yeah, Michigan's always is wild because you can burn your tires up real quick there, and then I like everyone complains about the new Texas. I like the new Texas. I don't mind it. So it's going to be different there.
Yeah, and I tell you what, driver to driver, Anthony, I don't think I'm as aggressive as I need to be here in the next gen car. So maybe a little pointer. What could you maybe help the 71 on Thursday nights do to be a little bit more aggressive, especially at Michigan? Because I assume if you get a run, you got to take it right at that place with these cars.
Yeah, but you gotta watch. You gotta save the right rear. You gotta take care of the right rear, depending on how the setup is. But usually you gotta take care of the right rear because then if you burn it up too quick, you'll just be loose the whole run.
Okay, good to know. Good to know. Appreciate the insight there, Anthony.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, and looking at big picture, you're the defending champion here in the season. 2 drop races, you take them the first 2 weeks, so now every race will count for points to you. How do you feel about that shaking out for you, and how do you feel about defending this championship here for Season 7?
To be honest with you, I really haven't even looked at it because I was away. I missed 2, right? Did I miss 2?
Yep.
All right. So, I mean, it is what it is. It's the summer, so I'm not going to say I'm going to miss probably another one. I don't even know if I'm going to miss another one. I haven't really looked at it. I'm going to miss Thursday.
Dang.
Because I'm leaving for the shore. We have my Elks, or a big statewide Elks convention this weekend, which starts Thursday. So it's down at the end of Jersey for us. So, Yeah, I gotta go down there for 4 days, 3 days, or whatever it is, and then I'll be back Sunday. So, now, like I said, just summer months, going all over the place, traveling. So it is what it is now. I mean, I'm gonna do my best to defend the title. So we'll just take it as it is.
Yep, exactly. I mean, there's a short enough list of champions here in the 802 League. Of course, your name already a part of that, Anthony. So you have nothing more to prove. But yeah, just wondering about that and totally understand with the summer months having things go on. So Anthony, before we let you go and celebrate this runner-up finish here tonight at Kansas, we're going to go hand over the mic one last time to you. And I think you know what to do. Got to thank sponsors, teammates, or anyone else you'd like to give a shout out to on the broadcast here.
So I'm only going to, unfortunately, sorry to the Talking Giants guys, but today I'm only going to mention one sponsor. It was the sponsor on the hood. Rebuilding Warriors. A little somber day today. I was trying real hard to get the car in victory lane for him. The founder of the Rebuilding Warriors program today, unfortunately, had to put his service dog down. So it's a little somber today. I was trying to drive my ass off to get him in victory lane, trying to make it a little bit better for him. But we got the next best thing, which was P2. So if everyone could please think about this veteran and his family. They lost a big part of their family today. We had almost 75 motorcycles escort the service dog down to the pet cemetery where we had to take her today. So we gave her the proper send off that she deserves. So other than that, I'll thank him. Thank John, Talking Giants, John Boy Media. But tonight we're going to solely focus on the Rebuilding Warriors crew, and we're going to have them on the hood for a couple weeks here. So, thanks.
Yeah, thanks for taking the time there, Anthony. And yeah, we'll keep the veterans in our thoughts and prayers with that, because it's always tough to lose even, a pet. They're always like family to us, and I'm sure that meant even more to him with it being a service dog and whatnot.
Yeah, no, absolutely, Brett. This service dog went all over town here, and everyone knew her. There wasn't a dry eye today. I'm not speechless much. You can tell that it's just it's hard to talk about. So this family's heavily involved in my Elks Lodge. They're members of my Elks Lodge. We work hand in hand together at their events, and it was hard seeing it hit home when it's not yours, but it feels like yours. But I was just happy to be a part of it, happy to be there for them, and they couldn't appreciate it. They couldn't show their appreciation fully today, but they said they were very happy and pleased.
Yeah, I'm sure, like you said, everyone came out and supported in any ways they could. And, of course, you tonight with that logo on the hood, I'm sure every little bit, helps a little bit of time that, can't replace anything like that. So, Anthony, we appreciate it. And, yeah, once again, man, congrats on the runner-up finish. And, yeah, thanks for taking the time to chat with me, especially about that.
Thank you, Brett. We'll see you Sunday when I come back from a little vacay again.
Yep, for sure, man. We'll definitely be talking to you in the future, and you take care, my man.
Everyone.
Alrighty, awesome stuff. That was our runner-up finisher, the 84 machine of Anthony Calatoni. Now we'll head down to Victory Lane and talk to the man of the hour. It is the driver of the number 4 machine. It is Jim Ott. Jim, do you got a copy?
I got you, Brett.
Alrighty, man. I tell you what, I knew it wasn't going to be long, but you are now the second driver in season number 7 to pick up a checkered flag here, winning race number 3 at Kansas. How you feeling after a wild 140 laps?
Feels great, man. It does. Had to work for that one tonight. I had to pass 2 of the best in the league, and just had to grind all night, man. It was cool.
Yeah, that you did. It wasn't a easy night for you whatsoever. Luckily, not involved in an incident. That couldn't be said for too many cars here in this one. But, man, able to best the runner-up finish in race number 1, pick up the win here tonight in a wild strategy. I mean, you didn't visit pit road till lap 60. I don't think anyone would have guessed that.
No, man, that's just kind of the way the cards were falling. The cautions were, coming out too frequently to lose the track position, and I know how key it was to have that clean air out front. You can pretty much control it for the most part, on older tires, and especially what I had, I think it was 25, 30. We didn't put a whole lot of long runs on them, but yeah, I felt it about lap 50 or so when those guys had fresh tires starting to come through the field. But no, man, I just had to keep the track position. I didn't want to put myself in a bad spot tonight, and it all paid off. Like you said, man, no incidents. That's huge. Especially for a race kind of filled with cautions, unfortunately. But yeah, man, awesome night, and like I said, had to beat two of the best tonight, and that's pretty gratifying.
Yeah, that it is. After another heartbreak at Michigan, man, you cannot catch a break at that place. It seems like it's got to feel pretty good to park it in victory lane, right?
Oh, it sure does, bro. Yeah, it's so disappointing, going there and just being taken out like I do. And, no one's fault. It's just, yeah, I don't know what the luck is over there, man. And, I'm actually going to be there Thursday. So, we'll see what happens. But, yeah, man, it feels great to bounce back and get this thing in victory lane and just have a great points night.
Yeah, that it is. And I tell you what, I'm looking forward to racing you out on track here on Thursdays. Of course, that starts at Michigan. How do you feel about that place? And of course, Sunday night, we go to the current configuration of Texas. How do you feel about next week with those races?
I don't even want to talk about Michigan, man. I think we know by now. Um, we've had this conversation, man. I always look forward to it. But either way, I always look forward to Michigan. It's circled. I'll just try to do what I did tonight, stay out of trouble. But yeah, two great tracks, man. The 1.5 miles, intermediates, definitely. That's my wheelhouse. And tonight it's just. I drove out of the mirror more than I did the windshield tonight. It's that aero block, clean air was so key, and I know it's frustrating, with Anthony and Mike, and it's just part of the game, man. It's just these cars suck.
Yeah, I tell you what, aero super important. It seems like every update it matters more and more. And I just say nowadays, I guess it's a tool in the toolbox, right? And you'd be kind of foolish not to use it, right?
Yeah, you have to. You really do. You can pack air on these cars and maneuver your way around, man. It's just you don't get that old school passing anymore, man. You got to set it up and get these runs, and it doesn't matter if you're a faster car. It's just, yeah, it's part of the game. And it is. It's annoying. Rob was out front earlier in the race, and same deal. I couldn't break the bubble. I felt like I was a little stronger, in 3 and 4, but again, you just get these runs and they just come to a halt. So, it's part of it, man. It's what makes it fun, interesting, and you're always evolving and learning, and yeah, starting to understand it a little bit more.
Yeah, that it was here tonight, able to put the race nicely together. And I was wondering up in the booth, it sounds like you already had your decision made. That caution with about 10 to go, you still have a set of tires over the wall, but it sounds like you knew, hey, that track position's worth more than gold in this race, it sounds like.
Yeah, it was, and I had told Anthony the same thing. It's just, I knew those guys were already on their last set, so we're in this very similar situation. You can't afford to give the front row up, especially when you're controlling the restarts. So yeah, that absolutely made up. I'm not going anywhere, and I knew if I could get a good restart, and I did, I felt like I could hold the race and bring it to victory lane. But Anthony had a couple good opportunities to get under me, and I just kind of took the air away from him to get the run off the backstretch a couple times.
Yeah, that you did, and I tell you what, did not make it easy on him, nor did he make it easy on you. You definitely still had to earn this one late, Jim, and you did just that. And I tell you what, kind of a big one here for the Ford team. 4th career win for the Ford. That's pretty cool.
Hey, the golden win, huh? I like that, man.
Yeah, that it was here tonight coming out, and kind of an exciting Kansas race. I tell you what, man, a lot of attrition here in this one, and you're able to fend them all off and survive here at the end and pick up your first win here of season number 7. I'm sure a few more here to come, especially with these tracks on the schedule. But Jim, before we let you go and continue to celebrate down in Victory Lane, we're going to go hand over the mic to you one final time here and have you thank who you got to thank, whether it's sponsors, teammates, or anyone else you'd like to give a shout out to on the broadcast here.
For sure, man. Really appreciate Rob and the team putting this together, and Riptide Radio, and just everybody has come together and put this league. It's fantastic, man. I really enjoy coming out on Sundays and have my friends and family watching tonight, my son, my brother, my wife, and really appreciate that. So and thank you, Brett, for the broadcast. And I always go back and watch those and enjoy watching those as well. So thank you for everybody that takes part in this league.
Yeah, and man, Jim, we got to thank you for being part of the action that all of us get to enjoy and being part of some of the great racing we see each and every week out there on track. So, Jim, go celebrate this big win here tonight, and I'm sure we'll be talking to you again here in the future.
Sounds great, Brad. Thank you.
Alrighty, awesome stuff. That was Jim Ott from Victory Lane picking up his 4th career win here tonight at Kansas and the first win of season number 7. And he is right there, especially with the drop race factored in. He is right there in contention with the points. So let's get everyone on out of here. Go get to enjoy the Nashville Super Speedway race. But before we do, we got to, of course, go through the race results from here tonight and thank a few people we still got to thank. So Jim Ott picks up the win here. Anthony Calatoni makes his return with a P number 2 finish. Grant Humphrey in the 48 will round out the podium. Chris Muse with a great run in the 3 machine. He will bring it home in 4th. And Steve Ritter in the 61. How about that? Steve Ritter, another top 5 finish for him. But I believe the first top 5 finish this season. Brandon Henn, a great race for him. Qualified 7th, finished 6th. Grady Ehrman will finish 7th. Evan Fuquay in 8th. Mike Kelly able to rebound inside the top 10 to finish 9th. And Todd Perro will round out the top 10. Connor Dudek will bring it home 11th. 12th going to Giovanni Espinoza. 13th is Casey Gross. Eli Raposa will bring it home 14th. Alan Harris will finish in 15th. 16th going to Johnny Barker. 17th is Arabia Caton. Matthew Croak will bring it home 18th. Then behind Croak in 19th will be Josh Hutchinson. Devin McCaffrey will round out the top 20. Mason Hall will bring it home 21st. 22nd going to Tim Rogers. James Hislop in 23rd. Tyler Humphrey in 24th. Anthony Garland will finish 25th. Mike Wolf in 26th. 27th going to Connor Patton. 28th is Rob Lowell. 29th, Nate Brooker. Frank Flores in 30th. 31st, Jamison Heath. Kip Easley 32nd. 33rd, Chris Proger. Josh Parker 31st. And a tough race for him as he won the first 2 races. Not the case here tonight. Gary Wright will finish 35th. Dan Holcroft in 36th. And Noah Loveridge does not make the start here tonight. That will round out things there. So we, of course, got to thank all you guys tuning in here live or the replay. I appreciate each and every one of you guys spending your Sunday night with me, and it is greatly appreciated. I'm glad I can share this with you guys, and hopefully you guys enjoyed it. We also got to thank all the sponsors, that being BG Graphix, Riptide Radio, GStone Motorsports, Admin Box, Stone, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram, and, of course, the newest sponsor coming on board, that Rock Pirates RC as well. Got to thank all the admins and, of course, all the drivers coming on out here Sunday night. 36 cars taking the green flag. We appreciate every one of them being part of the show. So, yeah, that'll do it here tonight from Kansas. Be sure to tune in next Sunday night as these drivers get ready to take on Texas. And if you want a little bit of cool stuff, Thursday nights, the 802 iRacing League does a little different series, the Elite Series. And yours truly, myself, out there behind the wheel a little bit, turning left. You can check them out on Freaky Fast Broadcast and see how bad we're doing compared to these guys. So That's always a good time. But yeah, that'll do it here tonight from Kansas. So everyone, take care, stay safe, have a great rest of your week. Also, Turn 3 partnered with Premier Setup Shop. You find out more with the link in the description, and I'll take you over to their website. Have a lot of great stuff to offer. So yeah, that'll do it for myself. I've been Brett the Jet in the booth with Turn 3 Racing Network, and I just flew by you. Have a good one.
Premier Racing Setups is the longest running setup shop on iRacing. Our monthly subscription options start as low as $20 a month. We offer setups for dirt oval, asphalt oval, and road racing, covering a wide range of cars and skill levels. Built and tested by top-tier sim racers, this isn't just a business, it's a community of competitive drivers. If you want to better your iRacing experience, head over to PremierRacingSetups.com today. And remember, if you don't get one,